Hi there, it's Susan Hansen with StressBustersSeries.com. And today on day 4, session 4 of 5, we have Evan Jensen with us, and he's a health and wellness copywriter, a personal trainer, hey there Evan, and an ultra marathon runner. So Evan, today we're going to ask you and talk about why your mindset is as important as the training and how they work together. So what did you do differently for your next 100-mile marathon? What have you done differently in terms of your mindset? How did you change that? And just share with us what it was the first time you did it versus what kind of things you do now.
So first time around, there was a lot of self-doubt about being able to do it. And I dropped out at 88 miles. But I mean, that's really close. So I thought, okay, if I think differently and train differently, I can probably do it. So like physically, I started running different distances and started doing a lot more weightlifting. And a funny thing is I got better shoes. That made a big difference too.
It would, yeah.
But in terms of mindset, I didn't have, by like really forcing myself to try 100 miles with, even though I had a lot of doubt about it, and just making it that far took away that doubt. It took away a lot of that anxiety and worry, because I thought I could think, hey, I made it to 88 miles. All you have to do is like repeat that and just a little bit more. And that made it a lot more, seemed like a lot more realistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that, taking that big goal and just breaking it down a little bit into smaller steps. Yeah, so when you start a race now, what's your mindset? What are you telling yourself at the beginning of the race?
Go take it easy, just like start, and this is just like an easy jog, very casual, loose, just jog along. You should be able to just like chat and talk with people, and try not to worry about mile pace and heart rate and all those things like you might worry about on a fast run. Right. Just like let all those things go in the background and enjoy the scenery and the experience, and pay attention to your body, and just like find a rhythm and make it as easy as possible to just start cruising those miles.
Yeah. And enjoyable.
Yes.
You know, that sounds like really good advice for life. You know,
right.
Like let go of all the stuff, right? And just take it easy, know you're going to get there, enjoy the experience. You know, this sounds like great life experience advice, actually. So,
yeah, absolutely. Like no matter what your life looks like, stuff is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And that's true for running 100 miles. Even the elite athletes, they could fall and trip. They could get stomach issues. Yeah. It could be blazing hot or freezing cold. No matter what happens in life, stuff is going to happen. And the best way to deal with it is to just like see it and be like, okay, what are we going to do now?
Yeah. How am I going to deal with this and move on? Exactly. Yeah. I think a lot of us get stuck in the things that happen. You know, we just get into these, I call it in the grass. You know, we get stuck in the grass and the weeds and can't see the forest for the trees, and we lose that focus on what we really do want out of life, right? And we're kind of going around in circles, and I call them cycles because they're either going up or down, that kind of thing. So what's the hardest part about running 100 miles? Like, is it the first 10 miles when you've got all that to go, or is it the last 10 miles when you're dying and feeling a lot of pain?
Yeah. So most people automatically assume the hardest part of running 100 miles is the physical challenge. Most people automatically assume that, but that's not it at all.
Okay.
If you train smart and train right, you can run 100 miles and like you're fine. Really? A few days later, it's like it never happened. Wow. the hardest part about running 100 miles is the mental challenge. And it's probably, for a lot of people, it's that period of time between, say, maybe midnight and 3 a.m. and you're out on a trail or on the road running those miles. You're tired, you're fatigued, maybe you have stomach issues, and that's when like you start hearing that self-talk. Oh, what are you doing? This is stupid. You should drop out. It's too hard. You're never gonna make it. And it's that the mental challenge of running 100 miles is the hardest part. That's the point in time where you have to decide, are you gonna listen to that negative self-talk, or are you gonna just say, yeah, nice to see you, but I'm doing this anyways?
Very good. So like we talked about before, you just, thoughts aren't facts, they're just thoughts, right? And we can choose to listen to them or not. And yeah, so just to respond to them. That's great. So
Yeah.
how did you, do you still feel like quitting when you're running? Like this still happens to you, what you're saying?
Yeah, that still happens. And I've run 100 miles enough times now that when I show up to the race, I already know at some point in time, I'm gonna feel like quitting.
Wow.
So I'm already prepared for that to happen, and I already have a plan. Okay, if you feel like quitting, great. Stop running, sit and take a break, or stop running and just walk for a couple of miles. Because unless you're injured, there's no reason to quit. Unless you're seriously injured, you should keep going. And so if running an ultra marathon and feel like quitting, that's bound to happen. And it's the same thing in life. You're gonna end up in a situation where you think, this is too hard, I don't know what I'm gonna do, throw up my hands and curl up in a ball. But where does that get you? It doesn't get you anywhere. You just like get stuck, and it's a terrible place to be. And you wake up every day thinking, how am I gonna change this? How am I gonna get out of this? Is this ever gonna get better? And if you don't do anything about it, it's really not. You're just going to be stuck. And so for ultra running, the best option is just go slow. Just walk. Just put one foot in front of the other if that's all you can do, because that's a better plan than doing nothing.
Right. So you actually plan to fail is what you're saying. You plan failure so you can get past it. That's a great idea.
And taking action is better than no action.
Always.
Even if it's not the right move, just making the effort to move forward, it builds your confidence just a little bit at a time.
Right. So what you're saying is, to get yourself out of a stuck situation anywhere in life, even if it's just a small action, a small baby step, even that will move you forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do something.
Mm-hmm.
Do something to try and change your situation.
Yeah.
And if it's not the right thing, okay, now you know. Now you go back to where you were and try something else.
Yeah, exactly. The old zigzag again. That's great. Okay, well, that's great. Well, thank you, Evan, and we'll talk to you tomorrow on session 5, and you're going to give us some top tips for running, okay, for training. Thanks very much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.